Hi, ladies and gentlemen. So my name is Danny. I'm from Pundi AI. So very nice to meet you guys here. I think this is my third time in TBW. So always excited to see everyone's here. I mean, I love Lurofan. I love the pearl jelly milk tea, which is fantastic. And that actually reminds me of when while having the happy meal for me is 珍珠奶茶, the pearl milk tea is very fat for me. So we were like, I mean, when we consume all these high sugar, high calories products, beverages, we were thinking, what if something is so, this thing is very, tasty, but in fact, it's actually not good for our health. But why we wanted to, or rather, or from my perspective, I'm addicted to 珍珠奶茶. Is it because the crunchiness, the taste, the sweet, or rather it's just for my sentiment fulfillment? And that brings us to what we did today, which is AI data layer. So when we did something like AI data layer, so is it for our own good? Is it for our own sentiment? In fact, it's not. We will try to bridging the community developer and the data provider into a common circle and ecosystems to make everyone to be able to benefit from it, just like the 珍珠奶茶I had just now. So yeah, meet Alex, actually, which is me, myself. So I've been in the space since 2016, 17 or rather. So previously I worked as a CFO of Pundiax, which is a payment company. And then we did quite a big round of ICO back in 2018. So we were like, since payment business is good, but when it comes to the AML and KYC, it's always a big headache. So we will keep thinking, well, is there any way we can automate the KYCs or rather the AML? So everyone knows what is travel rules. If not, probably Coinbase or rather the MyCoin or rather the BitoPro will ask you for verifications like whose is the wallet address you're sending from, and then which is the address that you're gonna send to, all these nitty-gritty details. And this is so-called the KYC's AML rules, anti-money laundering. So for your information, having a license or rather a KYC's ML officers is very expensive. In Singapore, where we base in, is 300,000 a year just for that money laundering officer. So we were thinking, is there any way we can automate it by using AI? So then we started to try with the LLM models, wherever you think, the Llama 5, Gemini, even the DeepSeek O3. And then that comes to a big question. Where is the data? It's like, who gonna share with us the transactions data with us? That is very sensitive. Like no one gonna share you their customer details, no one. And without these data, we can't even have a proper setup. And then we reach out to a big company called Scale.ai. Anyone knows who that is? Okay, so this scaleai.com, .scale.ai is recently acquired by Meta, Facebook, in a valuation of $50 billion. 50 billion. So we'll ask them, is there any solutions or rather the transactions data you guys can provide us? Because they are the data provider, right? So they syndicate the data, they help us do the labeling, transactions, everything. Guess how much they quote us? $500,000. $500,000. So, as a small developers like me, like my company, we were thinking, we want to train the AI agents to help us to process the automated the transactions. But the data itself will cost us 500,000, $500,000, guys. And what really important is 500,000 is just the start. We're not gonna train it once. We're gonna train 100 times over it. And every time we will need new data to fuel our training data sets. And this is Sarah, which is Scale.ai actually. So they're also facing the same issue. So once they provide us data, they can only sell it for once, like just to us. So the other people, if they want to use it, the data, they need to come to us, which me, the vendor, to sell it again to them. But the transactions, or rather, the business process will be very long. So no one will going to share the data with the counterparties. I guess everyone does it the same thing. So so Scale AI was wondering how can they duplicate the cells? So how can they liquidize or tokenize the data to share it to everyone with a cheaper or lower costs? And so that's what we are here today. So we created Pundi AI. And then within Pundi AI, we have this product called Pundi AI Data Pump. So this is the root issue, like I mentioned, is the broken data economy. Small developers, I mean, I'm not small, but we are not small like developing anymore. But even teams like us, we are facing this issue. We need good quality data, but no one wants to provide to us in a fair price. And the data provider, they don't have enough incentive to provide good quality of data. So this is like a vicious cycle. No one benefit from it. So what we try to do is we want to let data sets become a liquid assets, become a tradable assets on chain to make sure everyone is capable and is able to access to the good quality of data. And then what we try to do is to makes developers, contributors, data contributors, and community into one ecosystems. So in our ecosystems, we so-called like develop this three-step mechanism. So first step is obviously tokenize the data sets. So you upload the data sets on our IPFS blockchain, and then we'll give you an NFT. So as the NFT, as wherever you are developers or the data provider, you just collateral or rather stake your data sets, the NFT, in our platform, then you will be able to launch a token on top of the data sets. So which means that everyone who bought a certain amount of tokens, you will have the access to the data sets. So you don't need to let's say the data sets is cost you 500,000. You don't need to pay the full 500,000 to access the data set. In fact, you can just pay 10,000, bought the tokens, and then use that particular tokens to access to the data sets. So we can lower the price, lower the entry barrier and the access, while making more developers able to access to the good quality of data. So the ecosystem flywheel, as we shown. So developers able, when they want to develop a good AI agents like we did, they just launch it, put in all their data sets requirements, put it on our website, and then community sees if community sees this might be a good opportunity, they will do the crowdfunding. They will put in their money on it, and then once they got the money, so they will pay it to data contributors to get the good full data sets, and data contributors will provide good data to developers. So when the AI agents developed by the developers get profit, then the profit sharing will be shared within the community that be their early adopters, or rather the early contributors. So what really impressive for our developer side is, we gather three things together: capital, marketplace, and data quality. So they can get the initial funding, and then while they have their AI agents on our marketplace, and at the same time, they can get the good quality of data. And for data contributors, they can now make their data sets liquid. They can tokenize it. So once they provide, or rather they upload their good quality of data sets, they can sell it to those people who really needs it with a much lower cost without sacrificing their revenue stream. And then secondly is the ledger and trading. So transparencies or royalties will be fulfilled, and the ownership will always belong to them. So for the community, it's about growth, liquidity, and fuel. Obviously, as early adopters, they can come in to buy the tokens, represents the AI data sets, and even the data underneath the so-called the ecosystems. So under hood, so we design a fair and secure thingy. So we have a pump dot fund alike, or rather a Zora alike product. So we have our bonding curve and it's MEV protected. And yeah, so this is our visions. We want to democratizing AI, one data set at a time, like we shown. And this is the result. So we are not just say like we are, just new to the market. No, we actually started in 2022, and then these are the data sets we have: 122,000, and it's still growing, and then 28,000 data contributors and 4.5 trillion data sets. So with 4.5 trillion data tokens means that we are actually the largest Web3 AI data layer right now. And yeah, so for anyone who feel this is something exciting, we can contribute, with whoever you are, developers, community members want to try to join the early contributions, or rather be the investors or the data provider, please come to join our platform, data.pundi.ai. Thank you very much. I'm Danny. Thank you.